As we move to the next weight class at 74 kilos, one of those guys that came through that program, it seems that this is now his opportunity to make a world team. That's Jake Fisher, the U.S. Open champion, has been behind some really tough competitors, including Harry Lester, over the last couple of years. And Fisher really looks on this year. Do you expect him to really be the pronounced favorite?
I would say Fisher is definitely the favorite. He has wrestled very well this year. He's wrestled very solid. He's a guy that doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So I would have to name him the favorite. I'd like to say right now, though, that Harry Lester is planning on wrestling at 74 kilos this year.
You dropped a knowledge bomb on us. That's he is.
Kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, you're messing with us, Fraser.
I don't know. He could show up. He could show up. But to my knowledge, he is not going to wrestle this year. He does plan possibly to wrestle in the future years, though. So we'll see what happens there. But back to Fisher, I think Fisher is the guy to beat. A lot of other tough guys in that weight class, Bissick and who else we got there?
Jess Hargrave, Aaron Briggs.
Hargrave. I heard Hargrave is not wrestling in the trials because he had to get surgery. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Fisher's ahead of the field, I think, but not that ahead of the field that it won't be an interesting fight at 74 kilos.
Going to 84 with, again, some youth. Cheney Haight, Chazz Betts. Chazz Betts, world teamer last year. Cheney Haight knocked him off in the U.S. Open this year. Haight has been at the Olympic trials finals. Both experienced despite their age. They seem to be the 1-2. Also, things that can complicate things are the wily veterans like Aaron Siraki and Travis Rutt, young kid from Wisconsin, coming on, and kind of an X factor with Jordan Holm returning to wrestling. But as far as the top two, Betts and Haight, is that what you expect to see in the finals, or is it, you think Siraki's going to come in and sneak through and age before beauty type of thing?
Well, I think we have to remember TC Dantzler is going to be in the mix also. So 84 kilos is interesting because it's all of a sudden become a very interesting competitive weight class. Betts, Cheney Haight, obviously the forerunner. Betts, who proved himself last year by, I think, beating TC. But TC now, after his shoulder surgery, is back in the lineup. You mentioned Aaron Siraki. You mentioned Jay Clark. Let me tell you, Jay Clark is a serious competitor at that weight class.
Said his weight is he said before practice today, we saw him coming in and said his weight has never been this under control this far out. So
yeah. So
he could be real trouble at 84, former world teamer.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Holm. Holm has been out of the scene for 7 years, but let me tell you, the guy's for real. He's back only a month, and he's been in our practice room here, and he's showing people that he could be right there. And then you got all the young guys. You got the Taylor Knox. You got Rutt. You got I don't know
everybody else.
So that weight class is going to be very interesting, and I think even though Cheney Haight and Betts kind of lead the show there, I think it's going to be a close fight.
As we move to 96, with the return of Justin Ruiz, it seems that he might be the pronounced favorite. Although R.C. Johnson, coming back from injury, is he still waffling on? Is he coming back, or is he going to still be out?
Well, to my knowledge, he wants to come back, unless his injury at the last second tells him that he should not. He's planning on wrestling. And so, yeah, Justin Ruiz, our bronze medalist from 06, I think it was. I think he'll probably be ranked number 1, seeded number 1, obviously. And then we'll see how it goes from there. But RC, then you got John Lorenz,
Justin Millard. You got some military guys. Also, interestingly enough, you've also got Robbie Smith didn't wrestle at 96 at the Open, coming back down. Was having a very good year up until not making weight at the Open, then had to go up to 120. But he's a young guy that's been training out here. He kind of an X factor. Could he be an X factor and challenge R.C. Johnson and Justin Ruiz?
Oh yeah, Robbie Smith is You know, he's a player, so I think he could be right in there too if he brings his A game and puts it together. So yeah, 96 kilo is going to be very interesting. And you know, there's another guy at 84 that I failed to mention too. That's a young guy. He just won the juniors, or was it the universities? Provisor, Ben Provisor. He's going to be in the mix at 84 too. I think he's really made some great strides. He won a Bulgarian tournament this winter, so I think you look for him too at 84.
As we move to 120, one of the deepest classes traditionally throughout American wrestling. We've said it with both our women's freestyle preview and men's freestyle preview, but U.S. Open didn't go as planned in terms of how the brackets are drawn and some people missing the weigh-in and such, but despite Brandon Rupp winning his first U.S. Open championship, Dramil Bryars, the three-time world medalist, former world champion, past world champion. There's no such thing as a former world champion. You're not a former Olympic champion. You're a past Olympic champion, right?
There you go.
Dramil and Rupp will continue there. I don't know if it's a rivalry, because I think Rupp has been on the scene not long enough for that to be a Rulon, Ghaffari, you name it type of rivalry. So what do you think about 120 and Dramil probably being the front runner despite having to wrestle through the challenge tournament?
Well, Dramil Bryars, of course, if he's not our most decorated wrestler, Greco-Roman wrestler, as far as world medals goes, he's at least close. I think he has 3 world medals now: world champ, a bronze, and a silver. He's the guy to beat for sure. He's the real deal. He's proved it time and time again. Rupp is an up-and-coming guy. He works hard.
Very good in parterre as well. It doesn't just stand and push. He's not a guy that's waiting for the ball grab.
Who?
Rupp.
Rupp? No. He's not. He's good in parterre, and of course, Bryars is great in parterre. And you know, obviously Bryars is the guy to beat, the favorite, and we'll see though. Rupp, you know, Rupp has got the potential to hang in there and so forth, and so it'll be interesting at heavyweight to see what happens there.
Other name to mention, you got some young guys like Gerard Trice, Steve Andrews from the college ranks, and of course Tim Taylor, the Olympic trials runner-up and another member of the world-class athlete program. And Rupp beat Taylor in a great match in the semifinals out at Cleveland, and those two probably should get reacquainted real quickly.
Yeah, they always have a good match, the two of them, and I think Rupp's the last year or so beat Taylor more than Taylor's beat him, but Taylor's a tough guy. Taylor's tough, strong, big, you know, so it'll be fun at heavyweight.
Also a reminder, wrestling fans, June 11th and 12th, Council Bluffs, Iowa, the U.S. World Team Trials at the Mid-America Center. More information at theworldteamtrials.com. For USA Wrestling and themat.com, I'm Jason Bryant.